once you get that inspiration that comes from the written word, that inspires you as a person who's, you know, trod the boards for a long time, let's put it that way.
You served your time, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
It does galvanise you into being more creative then, let's put it that way.
Do you have a favourite episode? I know everybody always asks you that.
Only Fools and Horses isn't just a sitcom, it's a British institution. Running from 1981 to 2003, it follows the lives of Boy and Rodney Trotter, two brothers trying every get-rich-quick scheme under the sun while navigating life in working-class Peckham. Created and written by the late John Sullivan, the series masterfully blended comedy with social commentary, slapstick with sentiment, and eccentricity with realism. More than 40 years on from its debut, the show remains beloved, endlessly rewatchable, and consistently ranked among the greatest television programs ever made. But beyond the familiar catchphrases, pub scenes, and Reliant Regal van, Only Fools and Horses is filled with hidden details, background stories, and trivia that even the most dedicated fans may not have noticed. Aired in 1981, it began modestly. Initial ratings were decent, not explosive, but word of mouth, syndication, and the growing affection for the characters soon propelled it into a national treasure. By the late 1980s and 90s, the show was regularly pulling in audiences of over 15 million for new episodes and specials. The 1996 Christmas special, Time on Our Hands, where the Trotters finally become millionaires, achieved 24.3 million viewers, one of the highest UK television audiences ever recorded for a comedy. Phrases such as lovely jubbly, this time next year we'll be millionaires, and you plonker became embedded in everyday British speech. They were more than just jokes. They reflected the way ordinary people spoke, exaggerated but authentic, and gave viewers a shared cultural shorthand. The series won numerous accolades over its run, including multiple BAFTA awards. David Jason won individual BAFTAs for Best Light Entertainment Performance in 1990 and 96, and the show itself won for Best Comedy Series in 1985, 88, and 96. In 2004, a BBC poll ranked it Britain's best sitcom. The timeless appeal lies in how it captures both nostalgia and reality. The dated fashion, 1980s council flats, and analog technology are offset by universal themes: ambition, family, love, loss, and resilience. The show doesn't rely on topical references, it thrives on character, making it perennially relevant. Here are some of the more surprising or overlooked aspects of the series. The show initially left the fate of Del and Rodney's parents ambiguous. Their father, Reg, is mentioned as having walked out, and their mother, Joan, is referenced but not seen. It wasn't until later specials and the prequel Rock and Chips that their backstory was fully fleshed out. Joan's affair with Freddie the Frog Robdell, Rodney's real father, adds layers of complexity and intrigue that were hinted at throughout the original series. When Leonard Pierce, who played Grandad, died in 1984, the show had to pivot quickly. The next episode, Strained Relations, was a heartfelt and surprisingly emotional depiction of Grandad's funeral. Rather than shy away, the show used the moment to introduce Uncle Albert, Buster Merrifield, who seamlessly stepped into the trio. His backstory as a sailor and contrasting personality brought new dynamics without feeling forced. David Jason wasn't the first choice for Del Boy. The role was originally offered to Jim Broadbent, who turned it down. Once cast, Jason added his own flair, from Del's iconic laugh to his misguided French phrases. He also requested changes to the famous falling through the bar scene to enhance its comedic timing, showing his keen instinct for physical comedy. The yellow three-wheeled van is instantly recognizable, but few know that it was actually a Reliant Regal Supervan 3, not a Reliant Robin, as commonly believed. The van became a visual metaphor for the Trotters, out of place, underpowered, but somehow always moving forward. Throughout the series, the Trotter flat evolves visually. As the brothers come into more money, temporarily, the decor becomes more garish and tacky, Del Boy's idea of sophistication. Eagle-eyed viewers can spot subtle continuity changes, like swapped photos or background items that reflect recent story events. Even their fake designer items, such as Prade handbags and Pierre cardboard luggage, are gags in themselves.
Well, Del, I just can't stop watching the photo.
Gordon Bennett.
Anyhow, this is the first car that Boise sold in.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's a brilliant one. I like it a lot.
It had a clean ashtray.
Really?
That was its
never
selling
used.
point. No, never used.
Yeah, okay. I can assume.
Yeah.
What was your feeling when they called you to go to this show? Did you have a feeling that this will be so big because it was broadcasted in 50 countries, 30 years. Boise became a legend. Here you still are not, you still don't
We
have
mean at
this
the time,
Boise
when,
laugh.
when I started?
Yeah, when they called
No
you.
idea it was going to be so big.
John Sullivan based much of the show on people he knew growing up in South London. Del was partly inspired by his father and older brothers, while Rodney was an exaggerated version of himself in his youth. Sullivan wrote every single episode himself, a rare feat in modern television, and imbued each character with both flaws and warmth. Behind the laughs, the show was often a commentary on class struggle, economic hardship, and Thatcher-era Britain. Del's endless optimism was, in many ways, a shield against the realities of working-class life. Episodes like Yuppie Love, with the famous bar fall, also showed Del's attempts to reinvent himself during the yuppie boom, often with tragicomic results. Recurring themes of family, loyalty, grief, and love give the show its emotional heft. Episodes like The Jolly Boys Outing and The Sky's the Limit explore relationships in unexpected depth. Del's relationships with Raquel, his failed father figure role to Rodney, and his lingering grief over their mother show a complexity often glossed over in other sitcoms. The show spawned The Green Green Grass, focused on Boise and Marlene, and Rockin' Chips, a drama-style prequel exploring the youth of Del Boy and his parents. While these never reached the heights of the original, they added layers to the lore and showed the characters' growth and context. In 2019, Only Fools and Horses the Musical opened in the West End. Co-written by John Sullivan's son, Jim, and comedian Paul Whitehouse, it brought the story to a new generation in a new format, proving the characters still had legs, musical ones. From board games to branded lager, Only Fools and Horses merchandise is big business. Fans have collected Trotter-themed mugs, minivans, and full DVD box sets. The iconic status of the brand has turned it into a permanent fixture in UK popular culture. Del Boy isn't just a cocky market trader. Beneath the bravado is a man who sacrificed his own life to raise his younger brother. His failed romances, financial woes, and eventual parenthood show a man constantly adapting, rarely succeeding but never giving up. Rodney's journey. Rodney starts off as naive and easily manipulated, but over time he matures. His artistic aspirations, university attempts, and marriage to Cassandra all reflect a man trying to break free from his brother's shadow, while ultimately realizing how much Del has done for him. Raquel and Cassandra. These weren't just token female characters, they evolved into essential parts of the Trotter family. Raquel's independence and Cassandra's ambition provided modern, strong female perspectives in an otherwise male-dominated show. Only Fools and Horses isn't just a relic of a bygone era, it's a mirror held up to British life, full of optimism, absurdity, and grounded truths. Its humor transcends class and time, and its characters feel as real today as they did in the 80s. What makes the show endure isn't just the comedy, it's the meticulous storytelling, the layered characters, and the sheer heart that John Sullivan poured into every script. Whether it's Del's falling through the bar, Rodney dressed as a gladiator, or the poignant scenes of loss and family, each moment resonates. And perhaps most remarkable of all is that in its chaos, in its laughter and pain, Only Fools and Horses reminds us we're all just trying to make it work, dreaming of something better. Only Fools and Horses remains the most watched sitcom in UK history, with its 1996 Christmas special attracting over 24 million viewers. Its timeless humor, beloved characters, and cultural impact set a benchmark no modern sitcom has surpassed, maintaining its legendary status in British television history even decades later. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Only Fools and Horses has found its appeal among a new generation of comedy fans? Let us know in the comments section below.